only you? Okay, super.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, let's begin. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, in whichever part of the world you are. Welcome once again podcast series at MSM. As we get to speak to education leaders from this ecosystem, understanding their pathways, their roadmaps and ambitions, today is slightly a bit special. Let me tell you why. We are going to explore a city that has never been explored before, but it has a strong sense, a strong amalgamation of history, culture, technology, and education. You will agree with me when I tell you that the global higher education market is undergoing a fundamental repricing. Students and families are asking one question: why pay $70,000 to $100,000 a year for an American-accredited degree when you can earn one in one of Europe's most storied cities in a fraction of a cost? And do you all know a secret? And there has been an institution for more than 140 years that has been answering this fantastic question. I'm delighted to be joined with the leadership of Anatolia American University and my greatest privilege to introduce Mr. Emmanuel. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for joining the podcast. Anatolia American University is a non-profit NECHE accredited university in Thessaloniki in Greece with a dual validation from the Open University in UK and a campus that draws students for over 45 countries. Am I right to say that, Emmanuel?
That's right. It's at least 45 at any time. The countries change and we have some come in, some come out every year, but 45 will be the average number of countries we have every year.
Phenomenal. So in your view, what is driving this reassessment of where to study? Why do you think the shift is happening here? And why is this moment more significant for all of us, especially for an institution like Anatolia?
So first of all, I like to add that this trend has been noticed in Europe as well. So there are many Europeans that choosing US, Canada, UK as first destinations, and now they're thinking about it, although visas for them might be a little bit easier, and they're still thinking about it because there's some major changes in the culture there that sometimes affect international students that want to study there. So we've noticed Europeans looking for the American education, which is what we value and what we offer here, but maybe not necessarily in the US, right? So the important thing is the accreditation. It's not so much the geography or the location of a country, right? So our institution is accredited by NECHE, one of the most reputable accreditors in the US, Harvard, Yale, MIT, some big names, of course, but all of the colleges and universities up and down New England are accredited by NECHE, and so are we, right? So you get this accredited US diploma, but at the same time we have validation with the Open University of UK, so you get another level of accreditation from the UK, which is very strenuous and very detailed, and make sure it always looks out for the benefit of the students. On top of that, there's been some major changes in Greece, and now, although before it wasn't allowed to have private or not-for-profit, I should say, because we're not a private institution in the sense of a business. We're private in the sense that we're not public. So not-for-profit institutions can be universities in Greece as well. Thus, we gained another level of accreditation, the European accreditation. So our degrees now are valid in the US, in the UK, all over Europe. There is more openness in accepting people from other countries in Greece. So it's easier to get the visas. Of course, you have to meet some criteria, as we all do whenever we go. And Thessaloniki especially is a place that is very cosmopolitan, yet it doesn't have the costs associated with big metropolis in the US, Canada, and the UK. It's a win-win situation, a place where you get a good accredited degree in a very old city. Let's say we'll talk about how old the city is a little bit later on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Manolis. Very dearly, we call my friend here Manolis. So if you hear me saying I'm
we go on first name basis.
So what I'm trying to say is you've said something so phenomenal about the openness of the entire ecosystem and the ease of getting visas, that brings me to the center point of the conversation, which is Greece. Now, Greece passed a law in March 2024, if I'm right, and it's a landmark piece of legislation. For the first time in the country's history, it allowed non-state universities to open and grant recognized degrees. And Anatolia was among the first to receive its operating license under its framework.
It was the first.
Yes, you're the first. Yes, I'm coming.
Number 001.
001, that's true. Because we've also made a joint report with Study in Greece, and Anatolia American University stands out as the only institution offering an American-style higher education experience in Greece. And also, I must concur, agree, and second what you told about the modernness of Thessaloniki. I had the first-hand experience when you've graciously invited me to your campus, and I was floored. I came to your campus, and the first thing I said, hi, and I blurted out how vibrant, how diverse the entire city of Thessaloniki is. If I could put it the most candid way possible, there's nothing that you don't find in the city of Thessaloniki. I spent time there and it's phenomenal.
That's right. Well, Thessaloniki, first of all, it's 2,340 years old. It was built by King Castor of Macedonia, named after Thessaloniki, who was the sister of Alexander the Great. So we go a little bit back.
Yes.
So we're kind of an old city, a major city under the Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire, in modern Greece, and in the Ottoman Empire as well. It was a major city. So always a big city. Today it's a university town. It has 100,000 university students, right? Which in a city of about 1.2 million. Depends how far out you go. But basically this means it's a young city, lively, safe for students to walk around and besides their studies, enjoying their life.
Enjoying the life.
And an important thing, it is really the capital of the Balkans, right? It's a city, students from all over the Balkans come to study and then return to their countries or go to Europe or the US for employment. So it's kind of a city people want to be. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site for gastronomy, for people that are interested in eating.
Yes.
Okay, and that's for some people that's important. New York Times put us in the 52 cities you must visit. So, that's another heads up there. The important thing is the quality of life, right? Here, people can be relaxed. It's a more relaxed city. It's not hustle bustle like New York or Athens. It's a more relaxed city that offers everything you might want to find.
Regarding the gastronomy, I tell you, without any shadow of doubt, the best cuisine in the whole world is the Greek cuisine, and it is found in Thessaloniki. Any other argument to me personally is invalid.
It's a bit special because Thessaloniki has always been an international city, so we have influences from all over the world. So our cuisine is kind of a mixture of many different cuisines, and it's our cuisine now.
No, absolutely. Now, Manolis, I have a couple of stats in front of me, and they tell me that Thessaloniki is not the backdrop at all. It's not a plan B. It's a part of an education in itself, considering the diversity and the kind of rich culture that you have in the amalgamation of digitalization and internationalization, which raises a question about the institution in itself, which chose to build there and has stayed for over 100 years. I know that Anatolia was founded in 1886, not in Greece. As a secret, we need to uncover today, not in Greece, but in Merziphone in the Ottoman Asia Minor. The institution then moved to Thessaloniki in 1924. Now, that is a century of navigating geopolitical disruption, constitutional change, and educational transformation altogether in a more comprehensive perspective. And you're still being here, still accredited, still growing. I'm a testimony for that. I'm a witness of that. What does the institutional history give you that a newly established university cannot replicate?
Well, one of the key things, while we're still here, we're still growing, and we're looking into the future for another 140 years at least, is our tested governance. Right, so we operate under the American University model with a board of trustees, which are very strong and support the institution, and they're part of Well, part of the reason why our tuition is low because they managed to subsidize tuition with endowment. Very strong governance and trusted community relationships with the locals and alums that we built over the years, right? And as I mentioned earlier, we're a regional university. So in the Balkans, we're a school of choice. People from all over the Balkans come to us for their education. Yet we're based in Boston. So we have the U.S. Tradition of governance. We're not a franchise. We're an independent university, right? Not for profit, and it's not just words. The Open University partnership that we have adds another layer of validation to our school. So double accreditation, of course, the Greek accreditation as well. I mentioned 3 levels of accreditation. So these are some of the little secrets that keep us going, and we try always to become better and offer more to our students. The priority is the students, and we have the student in the center of our development, both education, both for research and for employment later on.
That's true. I think, as you've said, secrets, but also I look at it as robust virtues that the leadership of Anatolia has been diligently, relentlessly, with great resilience bringing to the table. I think if not 140 years old, Emmanuel, this is not a joke. This is a legacy in itself. Now, but let's get to the specifics of what this history produces, the credentials and what it's actually worth. So, the NECHE, the New England Commission of Higher Education, is the same accrediting body that evaluates Harvard, MIT, and Boston University. Anatolia has held this accreditation since 1997 and has been recognized as a degree-granting institution in the United States since 1894. Now, these are quite some numbers. At the same time, the Open University validates your program across Europe. Now, this is a significant advantage for us international students.
Of course.
So, could you kindly walk me through this dual accreditation and what exactly it means to the students? Because the students are being bombarded with a lot of keywords. You have AMBA, AQUIS, all these accreditations. There are so many layers. But
Sure.
what's in store for a student?
So the U.S. accreditation, in essence, means you get a degree as if you were studying in the U.S., right? In the East Coast of the U.S. It's exactly the same credentials of validity that would have, but you've studied in a European country, a very interesting, very old country as well. This is very useful. When you graduate, you'll get a U.S. degree from us. Yeah. This is very useful if you want to continue with a master's or a PhD in the U.S. You've had a very solid bachelor's here, and then easily you can translate that to a master's or start a PhD program in the US or Canada. So the NECHE accreditation will guarantee that for you. The Open University validation, in essence, gives validity to work and study all over Europe. Right, the UK, which is now not exactly part of Europe, but geographically part of Europe, but the rest of the 27 EU countries are open for you to, as our students normally do, to travel and work there. Now, locally in Thessaloniki, our very long presence makes us a very valid university to graduate from. Thessaloniki has a booming industry in computer science, in pharmaceuticals, in commerce. We have an international port, international airport, and our graduates everywhere, right? So we have a strong network within here, which of course translates to employment opportunities from the companies that work within Thessaloniki.
So that's great. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for that kind of a response, because this gives me an understanding that you have a 3 accrediting framework. You have 1 institution in 1 city. This is a beautiful amalgamation. I must say, this is a very noteworthy amalgamation. But it all comes down to one interesting topic, which is the numbers, otherwise the cost, because the students and parents are always looking at tuition fees, the all-in-all expenses, and the cost, which is very important, and I would do the same. A 4-year regular undergraduate program now from a mid-ranking university in the United States would cost somewhere between $200,000 to $240,000 all in all. Now, a comparable American-accredited degree from Anatolia and Thessaloniki is available at a fraction of that figure. Now, I know firsthand that this is no way a compromise because the accreditations speak for themselves. There is no compromise in the quality of education. So, how do you want our prospective students and supporting parents and their families to think about this comparison, and what does it say about where the real value of global higher education is actually in it?
First here is geography plays some role, right? Because costs here are very different than in the US, Canada, and the UK. So housing is much more affordable. The cost of living is much lower. Transportation, all of that. We managed to keep a low tuition. Our tuition is about 10,000, let's say, a year roughly, and with another 10,000 somebody can live comfortably by renting an apartment, and of course a student can spend as much as they want, but right? Reasonably, but
Yeah.
it does make it really really a fifth, a sixth of the cost to get a degree in the US. It will be what it costs you to take a degree here. And we try to help students, we charge by the term, so it'll be easier for them to make the payments. And the finishing without a big burden, finishing your degree without owing money to the banks, where you have to get a very high paying job just to make up the payments for 5 to 10 years after you graduate, and then start building.
Start saving up your career.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Here you're ready to start saving up from the beginning after you graduate. So we're just a better value proposition, right?
Manuel, I would like to interrupt you. It's not better. It's just not a better. Come on, this is the most lucrative value-adding services for our students that you're providing, because you are not
That's right.
compromising on your degree, you're not compromising on your pedigree in order to lower the tuition cost. You're upholding the sanctity of education whilst providing an opportunity for students who cannot afford to have a magnanimous amount of expenditure, but come back to Thessaloniki and avail the opportunity. I think this is like a blessing.
And this is a degree what you will do on campus, not online, right?
Yes, I
With
know.
all the added value that you get from being on a lively campus with students from all over the world, and doing all the different activities, curricular and extracurricular that come with that.
No, absolutely. And when I had the opportunity to engage with a couple of students on your campus, what I've seen is a great joy in them. The way they were talking about how the classrooms, their projects, their life on the campus. I took the campus tour. I could see every student had a spring in his step. And I think that really makes it a huge success, because if our current students are happy, we are building a legacy too.
Yeah, we don't lower costs by cramming people in big auditoriums.
Yes.
Our biggest section would be 30 students, maybe on the first year in general education courses, but our average class size is 17 to 18 students. So there's a lot of personal attention. Faculty have office hours every week. Students can go to. Students are assigned a faculty advisor that's with them until they graduate.
I met a couple of them on the campus. Yes.
Okay, that's right. So there's a lot of personal attention. We like to think of ourselves as a big family. So in the beginning, the student will come in, will be a little shy. They don't know where they're going.
Yeah.
The people from different parts of the world speaking in other tongues, but eventually they become one big family speaking English everywhere.
Vanellis, thank you so much for this, because I understand that now our viewers have an understanding what Anatolia has to offer. Our 3-layered accredited, high quality, recognized degrees that are available in Thessaloniki at a fraction of the cost. You don't compromise on your pedigree. You maintain the sanctity of student and teacher ratio so that there's focused learning opportunities given to students, the diversity that is available on the campus. Now, accreditation costs are all inputs. At the end of the day, there is one question that hasn't changed in the realm of international higher education, I think, for over 50 years. What's in it for me? What's my ROI? So I would be studying in an international university, that's great, but will this degree be recognized? Will I be employed? And if I'm employed, where will I be employed? What's my starting salary? Where are the alumni? So could you kindly tell us a little bit about the career pathway?
Yeah, for instance, we just graduation a couple of weeks ago. 40% of the graduates are already working. and 38 are going to graduate school, right? We always have a small lag because in Greece, the boys have to go to the army for a year. So not the international boys, don't be concerned. Only the Greek boys.
Not the international boys, only the local Greek citizens will be going to the.
That's right. That's right. But our numbers are very good. We have over 5 or 6 years down the road, only less than 8% have not declared to us what they've done. About 40% will go to graduate school, and that's an increasing number because we're pushing a little bit more on the graduate research. We have a thesis course that everybody has to take, and our faculty are trying to involve the students in more serious projects as time goes by. Publications come out of them from the students that put the work into it. We have a built-in course, which is optional. You don't have to take it, but it's good to take it, a practicum course, where we match you up with a company in Thessaloniki or even in your country if you have some lead there, or other countries, and that could be one of your 40 courses you'll take to get your degree here, and that really helps in finding a job. We found that most of our students that do an internship have at least an offer in the company to stay, right? They might not stay because they have other plans. Yeah, the students that do the practicum and do it well, take it seriously, usually have some sort of an offer to stay on for a while or for longer, but at least to get started there. So that's an important thing in terms of finding work. We have a career service that will start working with you from year one, how to write a syllabus, how to interview, where to look for jobs, and how to apply for them. So we help you on that front as much as we possibly can, without actually finding you the job and taking you to the door. But we'll put a lot of effort in that.
Yeah, I can see the efforts translating because, as you mentioned, 40% of the students who are graduating already had a job offer.
Already have a job.
Currently doing in internships are already having job offer. So this is
Doesn't matter if they're going to have a summer vacation first or go straight to work.
Yes. Now this is a debate that you and I cannot answer. You are never there in a student's mind. But that's incredibly very lucrative numbers that you have suggested in terms of graduation employability rate for students. This is what students are always looking for. This data is extremely interesting. Well, this brings me to ask you another question. Online and blended learning has changed what studying abroad can actually mean, right? I remember 25 years ago, the only way you have to have your international education is you pack your bag, jump on the plane, arrive on the campus, and do a full campus learning. But now that has changed. You have so many options where you have synchronous learning, asynchronous learning, blended learning, online programs. So a student no longer has to choose between international exposure and proximity to home. He can have best of both the worlds. So does Anatolia have pathways for students who want an American-accredited degree but cannot relocate full-time for the cost or family or any visa reasons?
Yeah, so at this point, we only have it in our graduate program. So we have blended learning in our graduate programs where they meet every other week. We're building infrastructure. Whatever we do it slowly because we want to do it well.
Yeah.
So we don't want to rush from one day, press a button, everything is online. For the undergraduate education, I must confess that we're very partial to students being on campus. There's a lot of things happening in the classroom, the interaction with the faculty and the other students that online education unfortunately cannot fully offer. But we're slowly building, and we're going to have in the future some offerings for undergraduate. Right now, only in graduate, we offer blended learning.
Manolis, when we are talking to students from various markets, that could be from Australia to US or from Africa or Southeast Asia, there is, apart from the ROI, which also plays an important role, ROI, accreditations, there is a significantly on the rise topic that I would like to talk to you about, and that's student well-being. Is a topic that international education sector has often treated as a pastoral afterthought. But for a student who is 6,000 kilometers away from the family in a country whose language he doesn't speak, he's surrounded by foreigners, he doesn't understand the culture, navigating a new system of bureaucracy, understanding the laws of the land, institutional support is not a nice to have, I believe. This is something that should be integrated. So what does Anatolia's well-being infrastructure look in practice?
So, I talked a little bit about the counseling service earlier. There, it's a very private and very easy thing to do. You just reach out to the counselor on your own and you let them know you need an appointment. Nobody else interferes, and you have your appointment. If you need more time, they'll give you more time, right? If it's something really serious, then maybe they'll refer you to to a doctor in town as well. We offer language courses if somebody wants to learn a little bit Greek. It's not necessary. Thessaloniki is a pretty international city. Cab drivers will speak English. We'll be able to order your food in English. Maybe not everywhere, but almost everywhere. At least almost everywhere you want to eat. So the language barrier is not going to be a big one there. But many of our international students, in the 4 years they stay here, they'll learn a little bit of Greek, right? After all, there's a little bit of Greek in every language, right?
Of course.
Mathematics, as we're Greek. Very key role play the resident assistants I mentioned earlier, right? Which they're truly there to help you, right? It's what they're hired, what they're trained. We train our resident assistants to be sensitive to different cultures, to different issues, to be open. So they'll be in here. You can reach where you're staying in your dorm in your first year, but they also do activities to help you out with that. There isn't any taboos so much in Thessaloniki in terms of if you're having some sort of a mental issue. It's okay. Everybody has them in their life, and we're here to help. We help you out with logistics as well. You get your visa, you come here, then you have to get a residence permit. We have an office that will organize this for you. Of course, you will have to do it at the end because you have to be present to get your residence permit. Yeah, I cannot come by mail, but we have staff that will help you collect the correct papers, make sure the appointment is booked, take you to the appointment, and help you out in the logistics parts as well.
I have a flashback right now from my experience on the campus. I saw your therapist's office and I saw a paper stuck to her cabin, and the paper says, "Come in even if just to say hi."
Right. So faculty, and I say to the students, faculty are humans. They're not some sort of a robot, and they're all perfect. So faculty, represent people in society in general. But in general, our faculty want to meet you, right? We want you to come to our office hours because we're alone, right? We want to hear you say. So it's kind of a place where you get what you need if you want to go out and get it.
I think that's a phenomenal aspect when it's dealing with students, because sometimes students could be so shy or even could be so scared to even ask for help. Maybe just knocking the door and coming into the therapist's office and saying, "I just would like to say hi." And you don't know what a cup of coffee can do to a student after engaging with the therapist. So I really like the kind of investment that is there for the well-being of the students, and I've seen it firsthand. So thank you for the service that you do to our students. As we are entering the closure of our podcast, I would just like to ask you one final question. I ask of this to every institutional leader that I speak with. I really love engaging and understanding their perspective. If you could communicate one thing to a student who's sitting right now comparing Anatolia against a university in the US, in the UK, or the Canada or Australia, what is the single most important thing that you want them to understand?
I'm talking to the student that is going to come here for undergraduate studies, right? And what must one succeed in undergraduate studies? They must succeed to learn how to learn, right? Because especially with AI,
how to learn, like it.
Especially with AI nowadays, you're going to have competition. We want students that will come to a place and they'll take advantage of what we offer, which is personal attention. There's opportunity to grow and develop as a whole human being. The accreditation is very important, right? Because when you leave, you have to say, yes, I have a degree, that's accredited, European accredited, UK accredited, it's a valid degree. But in this 4 years that you're going to be here, it's just going to be every semester you'll be changing to become close to the final person you're going to be once you graduate. Then you have to, kind of work a little bit and see how job will also change you. So this is the most important why somebody would come to us, because they want to come to a place where they'll actually grow. For professional skills, you'll get in your master's degree. You get in your PhD degree. It's very important to get a very solid bachelor's degree, 4 years where you learn how to learn is the most important thing, because whatever we're going to teach you, 4 years later, it's going to be old. But you should have the skills to go get a new one, right? So that's very important. That's what we emphasize for our undergraduate degrees. The accreditation, as I said, is very important, but so is a place where you'll be generally engaged and you'll be able to grow.
I really like this keyword, learn how to learn, because the flexibility and agility in today's world is something that you
The
need.
most important thing.
Exactly. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for your time today, Manuel. I really loved and engaging, thoughtful and honest conversation. Great. Thank you so much, Manuel, for your precious time. You have a great day. Thank you to all my viewers. Take time to once again listen to this podcast. You will see the strength of Anatolia University. This is something that there's a lot of content available about the university. You can have a virtual campus tour if need be and engage with the current students and also the graduates. This is a phenomenal experience and you will not miss out on anything, but you will exponentially grow into a skilled student with great interpersonal and moral virtues. So thank you, everyone. Take care.